Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, we're going to do something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I've never had the time or the opportunity, or I always had something else going on. So this is finally finished and I'm so pleased with it. So I'm sure if anybody has ever had a pet in your life, whether it be when you were young or when you were older, um, and when they passed away, it was very, very sad. And I had one dog in particular that was my dog for 10 years, and I absolutely loved her. And when she passed away, it just broke my heart. So I found that doing this rock was in memory of her. Her name was Mika, and she was such a loyal companion to have, and she grew up with my family. So the saying that I've heard is when dogs pass away, they cross over the rainbow bridge. So that's why I am painting this rock in the rainbow colors. So I started off with a mold from the Happy Dotting Company. It's a mold 2. If you want to get your own molds, there is a a link in the description below. So I poured in the Ultracal 30, let it set for a week, and then I painted it black as my base coat, and then I put 2 coats of white to make these colors really pop. And then just using a paintbrush, going back and forth and putting on the colors of the rainbow. So I just keep going back and forth, and I'm just blending with my brush as it transitions from one color to the next. And some of my colors, I found that I didn't let them dry completely before I put a second coat on, or if I tried to manipulate it a bit more, and some of the paint lifted from the rock. So just be mindful of that. It does happen, but that's okay. Just let it dry and you can paint over top of it. So I do this back and forth quite a bit from the transition from one color to the next, because I found my bands weren't equal. And you know what? At the end of it, I decided that was okay. As long as I could see all the colors of the rainbow, that's all that I really cared about. So the colors that I do use, the brand names and their actual color name are listed in the description below. But basically, I'm just using the rainbow colors. So that'd be red, orange, yellow, green, blue. There's another color in there in purple. But I found that the blue and the green mixed together made that mauve color, or I guess it's violet. So I found that that made that color for me. So I didn't really need to worry about it. Or maybe it was the blue and the purple. It's the blue and the purple. So when the blue and the purple are mixed together, they make that mauve color that needs to be in there, or the violet. I'm sorry, it's violet that goes in there. So I just manipulate the paint back and forth to make sure that I get the nice blend that I'm looking for, and that I've got some solid colors. And then I take this brush, and it's dry, just to swipe it over to give it that little extra bit of taking the extra paint off, and making it look a little nicer. So now I'm sketching on a paw print, because this is to represent my dog who crossed that rainbow bridge. It's been a few years now, and I have adopted another dog. She's been with me for 3 years now, and she's nothing like my other dog. But that's part of it. They all have their own personality and cuteness, and Yeah, she certainly is a busybody and keeps me on my toes. So, not like my other dog who is very mellow, which is okay. I still love her to death. Her name is Phoenix, and she's a beautiful dog. So, anyways, let me know in the comments below if you had a pet that really made an impact on your life, and when they passed away, uh, it was heartbreaking. I mean, all pets that pass away are heartbreaking, but there's always that one that leaves their paw print on your heart that is there forever, and you have constant reminders of them. So please let me know in the comments below. You could just tell me your pet's name, um, and maybe if it's a dog or a cat or maybe hamster, or maybe you're more into the exotics, like maybe you have snakes or lizards or even fish. Um, Whatever it is, they all impact us in one way or another. So let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure you give me that thumbs up. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell because it'll let you know every time I drop a new video and you won't miss it. So make sure you do all those three things. It would really help me out too. So anyways, what I'm doing is I did an outline just in black with some just DecoArt acrylic paint. And now I'm just filling everything in. So all of that hard work that I did on that rainbow, all the stripes and everything going across the entire rock, I'm now covering it all up. But you almost have to do that, like do the whole rock so that you can get that perfect coloration that you want within the paw print. And I mean, I certainly could have made this paw print bigger or smaller. I could have put a bunch of them on there to have all the colors of the rainbow in there. But this is the way that I chose to do it. You can do it any way that you want to because it's going to be your piece of art. And I'm just here for inspiration. I'm here for maybe teaching you some tips and tricks you may never thought of, or maybe it's just to, give you that few minutes to take time out of your busy day and relax to watching me paint. I don't know, but that's up to you. So I paint everything around this so that the paw print is the focal point of the of the rainbow, and then I outline it all in gold. So the gold that I'm using is Glorious Gold by DecoArt. I've come to really like this gold. It dries the way that you paint it, which is why I like it so much. There's other golds out there. You don't have to use this one in particular, but this is just one that I tend to be my go-to, and I tend to grab off the shelf every time I want to do something in gold. So um, I outline all of the toes and the pad of the paw in gold, and then I go back in with some black paint just to separate the gold from each other, and so that each of the elements of the paw print are of its own. So this, again, not a step you need to do. I just wanted to do it just to accentuate, I guess, the meaning of the paw print. And something else you could do that I didn't do, but you could always write their names into the pad part of the paw print, and you can do, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. You could put their date of birth and then their date of death if you wanted, or you could just put their name. You could put best friend forever, whatever you want. And I'd be really curious to see what you have done with this. And you can go over to my Facebook page and you can post pictures of your designs. I would love to see them. And I do comment as well on there. I say next to YouTube, Facebook is my most uh, active, I guess, social media. I do have Instagram as well and TikTok, but I'm not on there as much. And definitely, I urge you to go and check out everything on Facebook. There is a link in the description below. I do a lot of other paintings outside of filming, and I post them there. So if you're interested to see anything else, like some of my canvas work, my natural stones, more details, I do a lot of landscape sceneries uh, on my Mad River rocks. So if you're interested in seeing any of those, head on over to my Facebook page and check that out. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. So now I'm going in, like I said, with the black paint, just putting a very thin line between the two toes there to separate the black, or sorry, to separate each of the toes with the gold, because the gold kind of ran into each other. So, and then I'm doing a thin line on the inside of the gold paint. It's just to make that paw print really pop off. Like, you really want the vocal point to be the paw print. And I know that it's the only thing that's on the rock, but if you just add these little details, man, does it ever make a difference. And it's so simple to do. You just, use a very thin fine lining brush. I do have a tutorial on how to make your own. It's listed in the description below, along with how to make your own rocks with the UltraCal 30 and the Happy Dotting Company molds, as well as resining. So that's something that I do on all of my rocks. Is I do usually 2 coats of resin to give it some really good coverage. It's UV protectant because you want to keep these rocks for as long as you can, right? And by doing the UV protectant, these guys can go outside. So that is really cool as well. However, I do suggest bringing them back in the wintertime if you are in a colder climate. Some of my rocks that I have left outside over winter have gotten moisture in them, so there might have been one part or two that wasn't sealed by the resin, and so it ended up getting some moisture in it and it lifted the paint. So just be mindful of that. I don't find that happens during the summer, only during the winter. So if you do live in a colder climate and you want to leave your rocks out, I suggest bringing them in for the winter time. So I'm just doing some more touch-ups here. And then I wanted to add just one little bit more piece of element to this to really make this paw print pop. And I added some sparkle varnish on the inside. So all of the toes, the pad, they all get 1 coat of sparkle varnish. And after it's been resined, it just, it glitters so nicely. And because I use a sparkle varnish that is different colors, it goes hand in hand with the paw print. So, or I guess with the rainbow that's inside the paw print. So you can do whatever you want. You can leave it the way it is or change it, whatever you want. So now I'm just adding a circle around that so I can separate or frame the paw print from the actual rock. And I'm just using the gold again to go around to add that frame. And I'm just using a thin line of gold paint and making sure that I stick to my lines there. If you do go outside of the lines, it's a very simple fix. Just let it dry and you get the black paint out again and just touch up any areas that may be a little bit thicker than others. You can make it any size that you want. So it does take some practice, but I know that everybody who's watching, I know that you can do it. I have faith in that, and you can do anything that you set your mind to. Just remember that you are an inspiration to yourself, and just let your creativity flow. Like it's going to come out of your hand into your paintbrush, or if you're using crayons or paint markers or whatever it is that you want to use, just know that just believe in the process and trust the process, and you'll get there. So now this is the point where I'm just putting on that sparkle varnish, and like I said, it just really makes it look good. Now I didn't touch up any of the rainbow inside that where the paint had lifted, because I thought it gave it that rustic look. So I thought I would leave it, because like I said, I did have plans to put this varnish on there. So I thought maybe the glitter paint might take your eye away from that. But I just left it because I thought of the rustic look. It looked really cool. So I just left it alone. And I only use one coat of the sparkle varnish. And once it's dry, I go and erase any of the general charcoal pencil marks that are left behind before I give it a coat of resin. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.